Newcastle are interested in signing RB Leipzig striker Benjamin Sesko if Alexander Isak leaves the club. Isak has informed Newcastle that he wants to explore his options this transfer window. Newcastle have explored the conditions of a deal for Sesko, who was a target for Arsenal before they decided to pursue Victor Gyökeres. Sesko's camp turned down a proposal from a Saudi Pro League club earlier this week. Newcastle have had an interest in Sesko since last summer. There has not been an official or formal transfer request from Isak to date, and while there have been conversations about a new contract at Newcastle in the last few months, at this stage, nothing has been agreed. Isak has 3 years left to run on his current deal, so Newcastle are in a strong bargaining position and value the player at 150 mitus, while insisting he is not for sale. Ajax centre-back Jorel Hato was left out of the squad that faced Celtic last night in the Como Cup. The 19-year-old is in Italy with his teammates for the pre-season tournament, but he did not feature in their game last night. Chelsea are in advanced talks with Ajax over a possible deal for Hato, who has told the club he wants to leave. Ajax are looking for around 52 mitas, but Chelsea value him at 35 mitas. Talks are ongoing between the clubs. Chelsea and Leipzig are in direct contact. Talks are ongoing. Negotiations with the player's side are very constructive. However, Leipzig's demands are clear. They are still asking for a total package of around $70 million, including add-ons. They do not want to let Xavi go for less. They have a clear stance. However, they are also aware that Xavi wants to leave. This is known internally and has been clearly discussed. Arsenal have announced the signing of centre-back Christian Mosquera from Valencia in a deal worth at least 13 million euros. Mosquera has joined up with his new teammates in Singapore after agreeing a 5-year contract. The defender said, "There's been a lot of hard work behind all of this. It's an opportunity that came up and I couldn't let it pass me by. I'm joining a historic, massive club. When you arrive here with your family, you really feel the greatness of this place." The deal for the 21-year-old who underwent a medical in London could rise with performance-related add-ons. Mosquera had entered the final year of his contract at Valencia and turned down offers of a new deal because he wanted to join Arsenal. Valencia's statement confirmed that Mosquera only wanted to join Arsenal. Stay up to date with the latest football news, from shocking transfers to last-minute goals and league drama. Don't miss a single update. Subscribe, like, and share this video to stay connected with everything happening in the world of soccer. We bring you the hottest headlines, expert analysis, and breaking stories as they unfold. Tune in daily. Your football news starts here. Aston Villa have told Manchester United that striker Ole Watkins is not for sale, according to The Telegraph, while United won't be making a move for Alexander Isak. United are targeting a striker signing this summer, and the club have reportedly inquired about Watkins' availability. However, Villa are said to have no plans to part with Watkins and insist he is not for sale at any price. Meanwhile, United have reportedly ruled out a move for Newcastle striker Isak, plus other expensive options like Benjamin Sesko and Nicholas Jackson, after landing 130 million duo Brian Mbeumo and Matheus Cunha. Isak has informed Newcastle that he wants to explore his options this transfer window. Victor Gyökeres is expected in London today, Friday, after Arsenal agreed a 63.8 meters deal with Sporting for the striker. The Gunners will pay the Portuguese club a 63.5 menus, guaranteed fee, plus 8.7 men, 10 millimeters in add-ons. Gyökeres is due in London on Friday to sort final contractual details with Arsenal. It is thought that the plan is then for him to join up with the squad in Singapore and complete his transfer from Sporting. Bringing in a striker has been a primary focus for Arsenal in this transfer window. They have explored conditions for a number of players, including RB Leipzig's Benjamin Sesko. Gyökeres netted 54 goals in only 52 games in all competitions last campaign, including a hat-trick against Manchester City in the Champions League, as he helped Sporting win the league and the Portuguese Cup. A move to Arsenal sees Gyökeres return to English football, having joined Brighton Hove Albion in January 2018 before moving to Coventry after loan spells at St Pauli and Swansea City. Gyökeres scored 43 goals for Coventry in his 2.5 seasons with the Championship side. New Arsenal signing Noni Madueke has reportedly been reclassified as a homegrown player following his move from Chelsea. A request was made before the end of last season to change Madueke from a non-homegrown player to a homegrown one. The Premier League has reportedly updated Madueke's status, meaning he won't need to be counted as one of the 17 non-homegrown players Arsenal can name in their 25-man Premier League squad. Madueke swapped Chelsea for Arsenal earlier this month for a fee worth up to 52 million, 69.9 meters. Despite widespread criticism among Arsenal's fans over the move, teammate Declan Rice and manager Mikel Arteta have backed the 23-year-old to be a success at the Gunners. And this registration change is a boost as it may allow the North London team to sign another player to fill up their 17-man non-homegrown player roster. The 19-year-old defender Hato was a standout performer for his side in the 2024-25 campaign and is now in line for a Premier League switch. The unrelenting, unrivaled Ajax academy has produced another gem. Jorel Hato has enjoyed a meteoric rise to prominence since graduating to the senior team just 2 years ago, following in the footsteps of legends like Ruud Krol and Frank de Boer, as well as the club's most recent defensive success stories, Matthijs de Ligt and Jurrien Timber. At just 19, Hato already has 111 appearances under his belt for Ajax and has the potential to reach the very top if he stays on his current trajectory. It looks as though the Netherlands international will take the next big step in his career this summer, with Premier League giants Chelsea now pushing hard to secure his services. Stay up to date with the latest football news, from shocking transfers to last-minute goals and league drama. Don't miss a single update. Subscribe, like, and share this video to stay connected with everything happening in the world of soccer. We bring you the hottest headlines, expert analysis, and breaking stories as they unfold. Tune in daily. Your football news starts here. For some football fans, the off-season is the part of the calendar that they look forward to the most, as that can only mean one thing. It's time for transfers. The 2025 summer window is proving to be one of the busiest in recent times, with some huge names already making big money moves. We all know that some transfers turn out well for all parties involved, but there are plenty where at least one of the clubs, or even the player, are left wondering what might have been had they made a different decision while at the negotiating table. Let's assess and know who did the best out of every massive deal before the players have even been officially unveiled. Throughout the summer window, we will be grading every done deal as it happens, letting you track the big winners and losers of transfer season. When it comes to flipping forwards, the Germans are the best in the business. After making massive money on Luka Jovic, Randal Kolo Muani and Omar Marmoush, Frankfurt hit the jackpot again with Ekitike, who was signed for just $16.5 million a little over a year ago. Of course, losing the France Under-21 international is a major problem for Dino Topmoller. As the coach has already admitted, Ekitike was the main reason why Eintracht qualified for next season's Champions League, with the striker effectively carrying the attack following Marmoush's mid-season departure for Manchester City. However, this is an absolutely sensational deal for Eintracht, who have been here before, and yet always seem to unearth another potential superstar striker. Potentially the missing piece of the puzzle. Liverpool were sensational last season, sweeping all before them in the Premier League, which they wrapped up with 4 rounds remaining. If there was one criticism, though, it was that they were overly reliant on Mohamed Salah for goals and assists, which really shouldn't be the case any longer, not with Florian Wirtz providing passes for Ekitike. Both were scintillating in last season's Bundesliga and should work wonderfully well together at Anfield. The one concern would be Ekitike's finishing, as his shot conversion rate last season was 14.3%. However, that can be partly attributed to the fact that he took so many shots, 117 in the Bundesliga alone, which was more than anyone else. It's unlikely he'll be so trigger-happy at Liverpool, who will obviously have noted that when it comes to taking big chances, Ekitike is quite clinical, putting away 43.2% of the clear openings that came his way. The 23-year-old's tally of 12 assists in all competitions also suggests that he could create nearly as many opportunities as he converts. Granted, the fee is utterly insane for such an inexperienced and unproven striker, and Ekitike clearly wasn't Liverpool's first choice. But while they haven't signed Alexander Isak, the Reds have arguably got their hands on the next best thing, and a serious upgrade on Darwin Núñez no matter what. Another crack at the big time. Ekitike failed to make the grade at Paris Saint-Germain, for whom he made just 33 appearances and scored only 4 goals before being allowed to join Eintracht, initially on loan, in February of last year. However, it now looks as if it was simply a case of the wrong move at the wrong time for the Reims Academy product, who had offers from elsewhere, including Newcastle, but felt that, as a Frenchman, he simply couldn't pass up the chance to join PSG. Giving up on Ekitike is looking like a very costly mistake by the Parisians, as he now looks perfectly primed to establish himself as one of the most electrifying forwards in European football. Given the ridiculous fee involved, the pressure on Ekitike will be immense, but based on what we've seen from him in the Bundesliga, he has the talent, temperament and intelligence to thrive alongside Salah at Anfield.